Howdy gamers, Big Dave here coming at you with another story time. I think you guys are really going to like this one. The story's pretty crippling and I really hope you guys haven't found yourself in a situation like the one I'm about to talk about. Alright, so this story takes place around 2012 to 2013. Big Dave, in this case Little Dave, just started grade 7 and just transferred to a brand new school. I legit felt like the social outcast because I didn't know anybody at the school, and back then Dave was a little bit of a shy boy and wasn't really good at talking to people. Basically the feeling everyone gets when they first go to a new school. For the first couple weeks I was on my own and didn't have any friends. During lunch and recess I'd sit by myself and just watch YouTube or attempt to talk to people, but they didn't seem too interested in what I had to say. Eventually I made some new friends at this new school and things were going pretty good. You know, I was starting to get to know people, I was balling. School was pretty boring and there wasn't a whole lot to do, so during recess, some of the kids at school would trade things like Pokemon cards, games, wristbands, action figures, you know, pretty much anything that these kids could get their hands on that looked cool or entertaining. These kids let me in on some of their trades since I proved myself to be a trustworthy individual because of these teachers we had at the school. Well, let's just say they were pretty strict when it came to students trading things. I guess these kids had a few people snitch in the past and they didn't want to lose what they had because if they got caught trading their stuff it'd be confiscated. The teachers didn't like us trading because I guess in their eyes it somehow resembled drug dealing or something. Don't ask me why. So here I am in this trading group. You know, it's kind of feeling like something out of Shawshank Redemption or any kind of prison movie where the inmates gotta be sneaky trading things to one another. Like, hey buddy, I'll trade you this plastic fork I found for that stick of gum. Okay, maybe not exactly like that, but you know, you get my point. There was usually some pretty decent trades, but there was always that one trade that everyone's like, I need to have this. So I'm going to add a pretty big detail here that you need to know for this story. A long time ago, my cousin who moved to Alberta came down one weekend to visit, and he gave me some of his stuff he had as a kid from his old room. He didn't use it anymore, and I guess it was taking up a bit of space at his parents' house. So one of those items that he ended up giving me happened to be an old blue Game Boy Pocket along with Pokemon Gold. I was so happy because I never really had anything like that before. Not many kids had them because they were pretty rare, which I didn't know at the time. I pretty much played that Game Boy Pocket every single day and every single second that I got because back in the day I really liked playing Pokemon, probably one of my favorite games as a child. So one day I bring this Game Boy Pocket to school. You know, I'm just sitting outside at recess playing Pokemon. I got my tunes playing, I'm just having a good time. Well, one of my friends from the trading group I was in saw me with my Game Boy Pocket and he's like, oh my god, is that what I think it is? Is that an old Game Boy? I told him, yeah, it's a Game Boy Pocket, my cousin gave it to me. And he asked me if I would be down to trade for it. Thought about it for a bit, and then I told him, nah, I like playing it, and I wasn't willing to trade. He was like, ah, okay, well if you're down to trade it sometime, I'll trade you a PlayStation 2 game for it. Alright, so back in the day, I was a huge PlayStation 2 fan, and to this day, I'm still a huge PlayStation fan. I'm real excited about the PlayStation 5, by the way. But, getting back to the story, I told him I'd think about it just to get him to leave me alone so I could play my Pokemon Gold in peace. So fast forward a couple weeks, little Dave is kind of getting bored with this old Game Boy. He already beat Pokemon Gold and he's playing a lot more Spider-Man 2 on the PlayStation 2. By the way, amazing game. And he needed to expand his collection. So the next day during recess, I tracked this boy down. I'm like, alright, I've thought about it a bit, and you know what, I'm down to trade this Game Boy. You still down to trade? He tells me he's down to trade, and I ask him, alright, what do you got to trade for this Game Boy? This boy takes out a $20 Ratchet & Clank game out of his bag and shows it to me. He's like, I'll give you this Ratchet & Clank game for your Game Boy. At first I hesitated, but then I thought about how much I didn't really use the Game Boy anymore, and how much more I played my PlayStation 2. The temptation just kind of took over from there. So I ended up trading this kid my Game Boy Pocket for this $20 PlayStation 2 game. And when I got home, I immediately shoved it into my console and started playing it. Probably like 2 hours into it, I got really bored, and the regret slowly started making its way to me. Little Dave then realized he made a huge mistake because he later found out that exact same Game Boy that his cousin gave him was worth a lot of money. Anyway, I go back to school the next day, and I go up to this kid, and I'm like, hey, is there a chance we can trade back? I'm not really happy with the game. But he then tells me, yeah, sorry, you're kind of out of luck. I traded it last night for some Nerf guns. So there I was, just completely crippled and speechless that this rare Game Boy Pocket was just gone out of thin air, and that I was never going to see it again. And all I had to show for it was this $20 Ratchet & Clank game that my sister threw out by accident during spring cleaning. You know, I might have cried a little bit. I couldn't ask my mom or the teachers to help me get it back, because if I told my mom I traded it, she probably would have killed me because my cousin gave it to me. And the teachers probably would have gotten me and a lot of other kids in trouble because I would have ended up ratting out this whole trading operation. So there was nothing I could really do to get it back. So to this day, I still regret trading it and sometimes keeps me awake at night just thinking about it. So please, ladies and gentlemen, use this story as an example of of what not to do if you're thinking of trading your stuff with random people. So you definitely don't want to make the same mistake I made. But anyway, with that out of the way, that pretty much wraps up this storytime video. I really hope you guys enjoyed. Please remember to smack the hell out of that like button, hit that subscribe button if you like what you heard, and remember, don't let your memes be dreams. See you later.